Hey guys, this is Ninja Machine. I've seen a lot of things about this character. A lot of people were going over this character, were complaining, couldn't play this character. I've seen even videos of people not being able to play this character and it's just bothering the crap out of me. So I just wanted to go over and show you how to play this character. Okay? So first off, as you can see, I'm showing you Recluse. I'll be going over every character. I'm starting with Recluse first. Right? As you can see, it kept the stuff I have on me. So we're gonna first go to our visual codex. I'm not gonna show you the relics because relics are basically RNG based. So in this sense that we are doing for we are going to be I'm showing you how to play her like I just said. So we're gonna open the visual codex. This is a big because this will show you everything you need to know. But I'll show you an action, stuff like that, and then I'll make the part 2 to show you what she'll be like in the expedition. So we're playing as Recluse, I'm gonna show you over here. So she's a cool character. So because of her stats, you don't want any strength weapons, so any big weapons. So you don't want like axes, anything like that. You don't want any of that. And I can tell you right now, playing her with a melee weapon sucks. I don't know why people are going around with twin blades, a sword, a whip, anything. She doesn't need it. She's got A and FP. She's got FP for days, and her kit allows her to recover FP like crazy. She doesn't need it. She's got good enough stamina. Not enough to constantly wield those weapons like you all are doing. The only drawback she has is her HP. To prove this point, I'm going to show you how to play as her and the tips and tricks and stuff more for her. So we're going to go back to our sparring grounds to get you in depth of what this character could do. So obviously for equipment, it's only going to be only staves and only seals. Because as you saw in the character thing before the beginning of the video, or earlier, she has S in faith and intelligence. So you want to run, thing. And when you play the game, you'll have like these staves. They'll have different spells. It won't be just gravity well and glintstone arc. It could have something different. I've had the Princess Staff with Ancient Rain Critical and something else, like completely different. Usually they try to do one important spell that has. Usually you're gonna get like a basic spell like this. That's going to have like crazy ass thing, and you can upgrade these in game with the right stuff. Same with the seals. What's important is to figure out what spells you should be using for this character. So we'll go to sorceries first. The spells that you should be using that are good are, all these are okay, but not crazy good. Comet is one spell that's good. It's a very high damaging spell. If you cannot get Stars of Ruin, which I'll show later, Star Shower is a pretty decent spell, but I would rather you take the Cannon of Haman. I'm probably saying it wrong, I apologize. If you cannot get that, Gravel of the same thing is as good as a close range spell. You don't want Shatter Earth, Rock Blaster, or Scholar's Armament, Scholar's Shield, and you could get Terra Magica with a Relic. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's things that they could do like that. I'll start with these ones first before I show you the big 3 spells. So Comet is actually a crazy spell because it does a high amount of damage. Charge it up, look at that. That's 389 damage. I don't need that. See how with the Relic I got this? This at the bottom of it is Terra Magica. No FP was wasted, I could do it, and I could cast it. Right, now it's an extra 100, so it's really powerful. This is one of the spells that you should get. There are spells that you should prioritize over the spell, but if there's nothing better, you should grab the spell first if you're finding better ones. Cannon of Samal is definitely one too. If you do it at range, you're going to hit multiple people on one person. Look at that. Look at that damage output. 400 and something damage. And as you saw before, I regained my FP back. Cast it again. Boom. another big spell. Right? Very powerful, very good. The reason why you don't want Gravel Hammer is okay as a close range. You don't want Scholar's Armament because this is one of those things that's good for like Duchess or maybe any of the other characters it would be good for, because it doesn't actually like it's not a magic spell meant to like do damage. It's meant to buff your melee weapon, and we're not running melee weapons for this character. I don't think I personally, in experience and tried running a melee weapon for this character sucks. It's awful. Same with Scholar Shield. It buffs the shields in your left hand. Same exact thing. Well, as I told you, Terra Magica is one of the best spells in the game because it allows you to make it so you do more damage with magic spells. But you could get this through relics, so this isn't. Thop's Berry I'll go over later. Founding Rain of Stars is a good spell against bosses, but I don't suggest it all because it doesn't do enough damage. You get a version of this in game as like a passive ability. It's one of those ones where like while walking this happens. Instead you want spells like high damaging spells like Comet Azure or Rain of Stars. Comet Azure is good as against big target bosses that don't move around too much. So a dragon would charge it up, blast it, right? If you have infinite FP, and I'll show you a way to get infinite FP, charge this up, constantly blast it on. The other spell you want is this one, Founding Rain of Stars. It's very important. Founding Rain of Stars is that's a lot of damage. It's fast, it's fast, guys coming at you, Wicked, Knight, whatever. These are the spells that you should prioritize. The main thing. The other one that I said that I put before, right? Oh, I didn't grab it. That I said is a good one. In situations is the King, the Gravel. So this one's only good for close range people. So if he's coming at you, right? 299 damage, not too bad. So you don't want them close. Other spells that are worthwhile are not worth it. These spells right here aren't worth it. Trust me. People like that. If you like this, it's fine. I'm not here to judge, but this is like it's great for a melee character. It's not good for like this character. For this character, you want to run. You don't even want to run Magic Downpour because it's just random, right? I'll put thing and I'll show you. Right. Yeah. It's good against like maybe a close range. It's not meant to like so slow. I didn't find it as very good. The ones that I thought were awesome was the ones below it, right? So the ones that out of this category you want are either Loretta's Mastery or Loretta's Great Bow. Think of Loretta's Mastery as souped up version of Loretta's Great Bow. You either want Ranella's or Ronnie's Dark One. I'm choosing the Ronnie's because it's the same thing at this one, but it does ice damage. And then you can use Isabel's Moonblade. These ones. The reason why you want these ones is I'll go over this one. This one has one of the highest damage outputs in the game, and it goes hella far. Right? I'll hit that target over here. It's up all the way. 584. I'll steal this. to accept. One of the highest things. This is without any talismans, any abilities that increases our spell damage, nothing like that. Okay? Next character we're gonna run, why we want to run this Dark Phoenix Vanillas, is it. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, it uses a lot of FP, right? You saw the initial FP we're running with this, right? And why it's I'll go back over here for this one. Watch how much damage it does now. Right. That's why you need to like absorb elements too. This one's also a big but the reason why this spell is really good, why you want to run it, is the move spells all sorceries that touches temporary reduces magic damage to strikes. This is this version. This means that she's gonna take my target's gonna take more damage from all magical sources, and if they're gonna use like a spell to attack me with, so like some of you are probably gonna be like, oh, there's not a lot in the game. There's a good chunk, right? This is whenever, and I'll do the bosses that are best used for this character for expeditions, Night Lords I should say, sorry. But this would be like, this works against Loretta's mastery skills, frickin' the dragon's roar attack, I'm pretty sure it stops. I know definitely Dragon Tree Sentinel's firebirds, when the horse brings fire at you, it's a lot. So you just gotta learn how to use it correctly. Finally, Zadella's Moonblade. Right? Good chunk of damage. Hits a lot of bombs. You can even move backwards. That category of sorcery is one of those. Now we have this one. These ones are kind of weird. They don't do a lot of damage. Night Comet, surprisingly, I had it one run, is a decent amount of damage. Right. Pierces multiple targets. You can it does more damage than Glintstone Pebble, so it's definitely worthwhile to have if it's in your first one. Like I said, how it sees common if it's in your first slot. Or whatever bottom slot. These ones. So, the fire spells, the regular fire spells, or fire sorcerers call, they all suck. They're not crazy good. Right? Sometimes you're gonna have stuff happen to you. You have to grab like a regular or traditional like. I'll tell you the fire spells or abilities that are good. These spells, sorceries, fire spells. Awesome. Yeah. Magma shot. Magma shot is the best option. Rolling magma is not good. It's like a small thing. If not this it's actually wild. It's actually really good stuff. But like target instead, I think it's terrible stuff. It all depends on play as. It's the target. It's not. Oh, you can use this as an alien, but they're better. The other one you could choose is Now, before we get into this one, my friend has gotten this before, playing as some as the touches. I've never gotten this spell before. The idea is, as I said, it's meant to like make a fire spell, so it can go through a person. It's not like a huge amount of damage. It's huge amounts of damage. Other than that. Next we have these ones, right? Zimor's Ice Storm, Freezing Mist. These ones are okay. Like I said before though, just like Scholar's Armament and Scholar's Shields, you do not want Frozen Armament. This is meant to buff. Zimor Ice Storm. So out of these spells, if you want to use one of these spells, Freezing Mist I don't suggest. That's all it does. It creates a big icy cloud. It's supposed to build up frost. Ice Storm, I don't suggest it. It does too little damage. It does apply frost. I'd rather it's up. Constant does tons of damage and freezes them. Look at that, right? Gets in the center. But lots of these charging ones, like those ones, lots of AoE spells cost a long time to cast. So you definitely want talismans or skills that will shorten your cast time. It's safer to just be in the back and start shooting. So, these spells, right? Crystal Release isn't good. I don't feel like, personally, this one isn't the one you want. You don't want this one. Right? I aimed for that guy. I didn't hit him at all. I hit this guy instead. It's not good. Crystal Shatter's actually good. Right? Look at that. And if they're up close, it's like a shotgun. The farther you are, the less damage it is, the closer you are to damage. Crystal Torrent is the one you build. Common Azure. So if you couldn't find Common Azure, this one's actually good. Now, out of the gravity spells, Meteor of Astel, Meteorites, Collapsing Stars, and Gravity Blow, you don't want any of these. The reason for this is they don't track enough to be viable. Gravity seals are good. Collapsing Stars and Gravity Blow will pull enemies towards you. You don't want that as a mage character. If you're playing as Duchess, maybe you'll be okay. But if you're not playing as Duchess, it's not a good idea. While Meteor Astel and Meteorite, I'll show them both off just to show you. But they don't track enough to do a lot of damage in a short duration. So I'll start with Meteor first, and they have long passing. When 2 stars of room could have done that better, faster. Now I'll show you the Meteor Astel. I did less damage. Because even though the Meteor is more damage, it's less concentrated. Now let's do Rock Slide. Oh, it's only 2 seconds. Rock. A lot of stun damage. You have a high chance of actually stunning your target. this would help your warrior or melee classes up close and personal. Next up, we have Oracle Bubbles. Oracle Bubbles is okay if they're in front of you. And then you have Great Oracle. And I'm not going to show these ones because I don't want you to use these either. Don't ever use Briars of Sin or Briars of Punishment. They're blood spells. They'll do damage to you while doing damage to the enemy. And with your HP, you do not want that at all. With these spells, we have Oracle Bubbles. So we're doing a decent chunk. It's good for like enemies that are closing in. Just tap it. You can have Great Oracle Bubbles. Wicked slow movement. Does a lot of damage. My friend was making fun of me because I used this. It's actually such damage. Next, the final spells we have is Tibba Summons. Don't use this one, you don't want this one. So we have Explosive. These are the ones you actually really want. So we have Explosive Go Flame, Ancient Death Rancor. Actually, Ancient Death Rancor, and Rancor Call. So we'll start with Explosive Go Flame. This one is like the Zamora ability. It's better. More less. Well, actually, no. It's basically the Zamor spell. But what it does is it hits an AoE for everybody. It's a fire reaction. Awesome. So it builds up Ghost Flames. Ghost Flames is the opposite of regular fire, so give them ice building. We have Rancor Call, which is a nerfed version of Ancient Death Rancor. So we have Rancor Call. Good spell, by the way. Slow moving projectiles, but they do a good chunk of damage. Right? Look at this. And they track. They will follow your target. They go. This is good against bosses. So if you can. Usually I would end the sorcery part here, but there's a couple of spells. There's 3 new other spells that I also should just grab, because this is going to help you fight characters that have like annoying magic attacks. Characters like Carrion Royal Knight. I'm trying to think who else is like annoying with their magic stuff. It'll be anything that does magic. The Dragonic Tree Sentinels, Fire Horse attack, the Thunderbolt. So, because of how the game is designed, they got limited people that hit you from the front. So, because of this, I don't suggest Currying Retaliation. I'll put it in here just to show you. And I also don't suggest Prosperity. Instead, I suggest Internal Darkness. And I'll go for each one why. So first off, we have the weakest one is Currying Retaliation. Like this. So you gotta time it right. What it does is a magic spell or ability is coming towards you that's magic in nature. Incantation in nature, magic in nature, and you will get rid of it and create glintstone blades that will attack them. You're probably like, wow, that's really good. But it's only for that split second. So that, for example, Dragonic Tree Sentinel Horse is coming at you guys. Then we have Thop's Berry. So Thop's is the better version because it creates a It also costs a little skill. Look at that. Look at that. That's very nice. It's a berry that does it. However, you got a whole. But doesn't the front and back. The one I like using instead is Eternal Darkness. Right? Creates a spirit darkness incantations. What this does is it creates this. This stays for a while. So I can be right here casting spells, and my opponent is the red house. Takes out her great bow, shoots me at it. Instead it'll get sucked over here into this the darkness bubble. And I'll take no damage. I'll be safe and sound. This is what I have to say left for the sorcery aspect of this. However, I will be grabbing a magic spell to show you the best of this. I'll just grab regular. Alright, next. I'll get rid of the other ones to show you too. I'll go over these ones as well. So, for magic casting, because we want to be out of combat as much as possible, we don't want to be anywhere near the fighting. In the sense of, like, we want to be there to deal damage, but we're not, like, supposed to support our teammates. We're not supposed to. We're support by doing damage and drawing aggro. So you don't want Lord's Heal, you don't want any of these spells on here. So you don't want these four, which is all healing spells. You don't want these spells because they buff you. You don't want this one because it's... You don't want these two because they're all about baiting and stuff. You don't want Golden Vow either. No, nothing like this, in my opinion. You don't want any of the aspects either because you're too close together. So that really limits this. I'll have to check to see if you want it. I never tried this one. You don't want Aura's Blade, you don't want Immutable Shield. This is the exact same as the magic version. Scholar's Shield and Scholar's Armor is Immutable Shield, and Aura's Blade is the exact same. You don't want these spells are meant to make it so that your weapon becomes holy. Law of Casuality is not like you can use it, but I don't really recommend it because we don't want to be up close in person, right? Okay, no, it's in front of us, so... 72 isn't worth it. Yeah, so I don't recommend this spell either. This spell is awful. 72 holy spell is not worth it. Remember, that's not the game's, like, fault. In terms of, like, we're not doing damage because we're not meant to. That's that incantation's fault. Instead, so you don't want any of these ones. You don't want Elden Stars. Elden Stars is like you don't want that, and you don't want Muni of Death. Law of Regression's okay if it's to heal yourself. Instead, you want either Radagon's Rings of Light, Triple Rings, Discus of Light, or Black Blade. These are good. I'll show you these ones. Actually, think of Discus of Light as a nerfed version of Triple Rings of Light. So to show these ones, we'll go This is an AoE spell, so you can tap it. This is probably one of the better AoE spells that I suggest grabbing. Alright. 335 makes it. 460. This is one of the better ones, and we can use it to grab hold. You can run triple Rings of Light. Using a good chunk of damage. Can hit multiple targets like that. It does a decent amount, not a whole much. The best this holy spell is Black Wind, because of this. That's 807 damage, and it knocked off like 5% of the opponent's health. It's wicked good. It's the best this holy ability in the game. Ones you want. Other incantations you want is, I tried Home Bolt and it's the damage output just isn't worth it. So you want Lightning Spear, Lightning Strike. If you don't have Lightning Strike, run the Frozen Lightning Strike. The reason why you don't want the other ones, I'll explain later. You don't want Dragon Bolt's Blessing because it buffs you, and you don't want Electrify Armament because you're not running a melee weapon. You don't want Home Bolt because even though it doesn't go far enough, and the damage it does doesn't outweigh how far it goes. It's actually the weakest lightning weapon, and it doesn't go. It tracks harder though, so while the other ones I can show you, but you don't want them because you gotta be too close to them. Remember what I said about this character. This character is D in health. You get hit, you die, basically. So that cancels Death Lightning and Ancient Dragon Lightning Spear because they're AoE lightning spells. And same with Fortisback Sphere and Ancient Dragon's Lightning Spear. Lannistack's Blade you can do, and I'll show you what it does. So, we have Lightning Strike, which is actually good. You can use it in front of you like this. You can tap it too. Goes pretty fast. You can hit it from a distance. Actually, Frozen Lightning Spear is better because it hits wider arc. Lightning Spear is one of the best. Well, the difference between Lightning Strike and is Lightning Strike is, even though Lightning Strike does more damage, Frozen Lightning Spear does not. I don't know why it's not working properly, but wow. The other one that I said that you can grab is Lannistack's Blade. This one's a very cool spell. That's the only other lightning spell that I suggest that you can, is acceptable. The other one is Lannistack's Blade, right? Sorry. It only does 143 damage. The only way to do it is to get the timing down. It's really good. But unlike the other ones, a decent check. So it's not like next after the lightning comes the fire. Burn, burn, burn. I don't suggest Catch Flame or O Flame. I also don't suggest Surge O Flame. I mean, you can run it. These are all close range spells. If you want to run them, fine. Maybe that's all you get. But the one that I'm begging you, please don't get is Catch O Flame. This is awful for this character. That flame attack is literally, they have to be literally right in front of you. Do it. So either have O Flame, which is right. It's like you kind of have some distance. It's just like, see, I don't think that's the same. Surge O Flame. So instead, you're running it as like. I don't suggest them because a lot of enemies can take that damage and not like, they don't get stunned or knocked back, so it's not worth it. Instead for this one, I suggest running Flame Sling, Giant's Flame, they take you, or Flame Propel God. You don't want Flame Protect because it's a buff spell. While Flame Great Strength is one of the best buff spells in the game, but not for a mage. It's for a melee fire character. Flame Great Strength is a great incantation for Wilder. While you don't want Fire's Deadly Sin either, and you don't want Flame to fall upon them. Or Burn O Flame because it's only around the caster, it's not viable enough. Like I said, you don't want to be up close and too close in person. Instead, these are the ones you want. So it's Flame Sling, Giant's Flame, take the Flame Propel God, if you have one. So we have Flame Sling. Right, so that's 229. You tap in 180. 220. Not too much effort. You can run Giant's Flame. So I could tap it. 279. And it's really good because it's an explosion one. So enemies are grouped together when then you have Flame Propel God. This one is kind of more of like, you're in the back, but you want to start off big. It creates a slow-moving sun that when it gets close, and it'll even fire you. So that's one of the ones you want to start off like. There's a giant laying on the ground. Sorry, not a giant. A troll laying on the ground. Doesn't see you. Just pops up. As you saw, there's regular fire spells, and now there's black flame spells. Again, you don't want black flame blade because you don't want this one in general. Just in general, it's one of the buff spells that like I'm wicked disappointed with because it didn't buff it. This has the shortest duration of any spell in the game. It's just not worth it. All these spells aren't worth it either. They just do too little damage. If you're going to run one, run Beast Claw or Stone of Garag for enemies that are in front of you as a close range spell. The rest are just not worth it. Don't bother. They're cool looking, I'll admit it, but they're just not worth it. Now, for Black Flame. Black Flame Ritual's not worth it because it's close, while Black Flame's Protection and Noble Presence are buff and buff spells. And spells that knock people back. It's not worth it. Instead, you want Skewering Black Flame or Black Flame. So we'll do Storing Black Flame first. This one is a really good close range one. And you saw the added effect. I'll do it again. I'll just tap it. Tap it. See, I'll hit the guy next to it too, so I can hit multiple people. Focused. So, the damage output is not really worth it. It's just a couple 10 extra. Black Flame is what you want. Watch what happens. So, it's a souped up version of Fireball. That's 369 on the tap. Watch when it's fully charged. That's 420. So, you're getting rid of the explosion for more damage, basically, is what the drawback is for that one. Next we have the blood skill ones. Now, because you don't got big and arcane, these ones aren't good for you. These are good for Duchess, but not for you. You don't want Scarlet Adonia, and you don't want Pestilence. Poison Armor, because it buffs poisonous. Now, I'll tell you right now though, Blood Flame Blade is the bestest buff incantation in the game. Besides Flame Protect, Flame Grant Restraint. It's really good. Now, for these ones, the Flame of Frenzy ones, Halashibaru you don't want. You don't want that because it makes it so enemies will most likely target you. We don't want that. We don't want... These ones are actually... So I'll do this one first. But if you get too crazy, and just be warned, when you become fully madness, you take massive Out of these spells, the one you want, and the safest one, is probably Frenzy Burst. 360. Great damage, not too high. Good chunk of damage, not too big. But what's crazy about this spell, I thought it was gross. Look at this. I'm all the way over here. I still did 360 damage. All the way back here. All the way. Look at that. It's one of the best. It's fucking nice. And it's definitely worth it. I think if you can get it. It also applies fire. So if you are running, you need the fire element, do it. And I'll explain why you need elements in a second. Next we have the dragon animations. Now the problem with dragon ones is they're all freaking mana eaters or FP eaters. They take a lot of FP eaters. Now, we have certain good ones and ones you don't want. So any of the basic ones aren't really worth it, like Magma Breach, Dragon Fire, Glintstone Breach, Dragon Ice, Rotten Breath, Dragon Claw, Dragon Knight. If you get them, they're there. They're powerful spells. You want the name stuff like Agiel's Flame, Theorodix's, Smart's Glintstone Breath, EKC's Delay, Boreas's Mist, Blastodax Ruin, and Greyall's Roar. Greyall's Roar is great because it's a AoE spell that does damage and debuffs enemies. But you're trying to grab the bestest one. So you want Theorodix's Magma because it's most effective. I would actually choose Theorodix's Magma over Agiel's Flame. As for the other two, Smaragd's Glintstone Breath, if it's there, grab it. If it's the one you found. If you find anyone that's better for like Excalices or Boreas Mist, grab it. I'd rather you pick. If you found all these, but Blastodax Ruin is the most. These three, that one, and that one I feel like better. Eki's Delay is great for playing lots of Rot build-up, while Boreas Mist is great for Blastodax is great. That's really why, and I'll show you the damage. So first, let's go with Greyall's Roar. It's an AoE spell. So as you saw, right? Well, P. That's not a whole have less attack power. Well, to prove how good this is I'll use this. This dummy over here. Instead, we have. But also applies a big. So against giant bosses, it's gonna be good. Buffs that are like increases the duration of your sorcerer's reputations is what you need. Finally, Blastodax. This spell is gross. Right, that was. Like we saw before, lots of time. That's pretty much it for that. Now, because of what to show you what her kit is, I need to grab a couple of things for this. Now, I won't be grabbing talismans and stuff like that, and I'll show you how to play her, actually in a little bit, but in part 2 of this stream thing. But anyway, so like I just showed you that, so I'll grab Black Flame, I'll grab Lightning Spear, I'll grab Black Blade, Holy Fire. Holy. Let's see, right? Lightning. Fire. Yeah. Lightning. Lightning. I'll grab Commander to show you. Alright. So what's part of her magic cocktail ability is we can gain, depending on what we're grabbing, we create special ability effects. So when you grab 3 magic abilities, you get this. Right. It doesn't do a lot of damage. It's just meant to be there as a form of harassment to minions and stuff. And you're still doing a lot of damage. Better yet too is you can grab this since you want. It's gonna teleport. So I could be like all the way back here. I was like late to the party, whatever. My friends already started fighting the boss. You can also place it on your teammates if they're low on health or whatever, other stuff. For fire, you're gonna get 3 fires that do that. Like this. Fire tornado ability. On the ground. Stay a couple of seconds. So those are your 2 main damage points. Now, light and holy damage buff. Light. I activate it, and it doesn't look like it did it. Well, except my fear thing. It changes my dodge to blessings. So now I can survive more and have fire styles. Finally, your holy damage. Actually, switch this around. I was using Tojo. I'll play some distance. Oh, wrong one. Right. For 3 holies, you get this. Now, it obviously looks like it didn't do anything, but if we look upwards, it increases something. So if you go to your status, it'll tell you it improved our damage negation by all sources, I'm going to assume, and it improves our poise. Meaning, poise is if we get hit with a big attack, it's less likely us are going to send back. Now, the other thing we could do is mix and match shit together. So if you get 1 glintstone, this is the light. Anyway, and it doesn't matter what combination we have. We can have 2 arcane, 1 light, 2 light, 1 arcane. We're always going to get the same effect at us. That's going to give us a cool ability. And to show this truly awesomeness is I'll have to switch to combos. But then we activate it. Now, so at the time we have this buff, we have unlimited mana. The top will start going down. So I'll do it again just to show you. Let's rinse it again. So this is that's how powerful that is. Grab our king again. Now we're going to show you fire. Grab fire. Has cool implications, so if you constantly go there and talk to people, eventually This is very good spell to bring up teammates that are down on their first block. Really good. Up this time, you get either one. You get this cool. This is you've seen the armament Moonblade. I'll show it to you in different guys' playthrough, but this is one of the. It looks similar to this. We create a fire. You can hold it too before letting it go. It's going to do that. And like I said before, it doesn't matter what I did. I did 2 my thing I said before about, you know, elements don't matter long because we're combining 2 elements together. Last but not these ones. I think I showed it, right? Windstone. I did. So we're gonna show now just the lightning ones. Now it's gonna be lightning habits if we do 2 lists of lightning. So we're gonna get this bit. Now, I can't really show it to you this one on this bat, so this one's gonna come. Boom. See that? That's guaranteed deflection counter. So as long as the shield's up, we're gonna get it. So I'll do it again. Oh, we took some damage. Right. And what he does is going to be countered. But this is why you should be carrying a melee weapon. But if you when being exposed to it, teammates, friends, it's not gonna matter because they can capitalize on it. And you can just use it to cast more spells in his face and combo. So what was on lightning shield, right? So we're gonna run that. This one's really cool. This is more of a dodging type ability, but it does damage. So grants us a think of a dash attack. Right? Right, what's good about this is you could have this up on your heavy, try to get out of destroy a lot. There's a good chunk of damage too. Show you now we have this spell. This spell, like the other ones, is a buff spell. We paid attention. This spell. This also works on your teammates when it goes by. You increase all your teammates' max damage. That's very good. So I showed you all the combinations in terms of single elemental spells and 2 elemental spells, but there's one more. What if we use spells from every element? So first off, I'll show you. Imagine. One man. This one creates a 5. This one I realized didn't do too much, but someone said to me it heals your teammates when you hit them. It's true, but it does create more components. I did that. Take that in. It's a huge AoE. You can launch to really cool, huge explosion. This one's good too. This one's the ice version. So this, let's say you're going to attack my boss. This one will make you do a lot of frost buildup while being immune to damage for a little time. You're going to include ice. Finally, the regular elements without this. This one. Now, this one's really hard to use. This is great on big bosses that are very slow, don't move around a lot, like trolls and stuff like that. So, if you have this saved and you're about to fight a troll, just pop this on them. It's very good. I call it the Orbital Strike. Very powerful, very strong ability. And yeah, that is pretty much it for spells, incantations, and stuff. Next I'll go over, I didn't say I was going to do it, but I'll go over anyways, relics that you want to use. Actually, I didn't have to do that, I'll just go to relics. So, here's the problem with her. As you can see, the two relics I have are her character specific that you can get from remembrances. So, you could run Vestige of the Night. Vestige of the Night is the one that I highly recommend. The second one, Bone-like Stone, you don't really have to run if you don't want to. This is the one you really want, where collecting the affinity residue activates Terra Magica. That means and as I showed you before, when I collect magical elements, I can do powerful spells. Well, her passive makes it so that when I collect magical elements, I gain my FP back. So you definitely want to run magical affinities, all that, while you're running and having a good time. I got lucky on my last one for RNG. I put getting Starlight Shards and increased my magical attack power. So magical attack power is what you always want for her. It's very good because she's running a lot of magic. Starlight Shard is also good in case at times you are running spells like Black Blade or other spells that cost a lot of FP and you don't have option to reclaim like a lot of FP from, stuff like that. You don't have to run Blown like Stone though. Right? Right? Suffer blood loss or resist power. So, items you don't want to run for her, or anyone that makes it so you gain, like, starting armament does blank, because she's not going to get any of that ability, because you don't want to run melee weapons. Any ones that grant either a Starlight Shard, the bell in your inventory is very good. Once that increase, Rune Acquisition is also very good. The other thing I have to warn you about, too, is your bestest staff to grab is definitely Karin Regal Scepter, 230 scaling. Right? If you can't get it, your bestest staff is Lucette's Glintstone staff in terms of scaling. problem with the Regal Scepters, I've never ever, I'm telling you right now, I've never seen it ever. The one time I seen it is once, and it's from a Mage Tower. So unless you get it as a lucky legendary drop from a Mage Tower, I don't think it's actually, like, gonna give it to you. For expeditions for this character, your bestest expeditions are going to be probably, because of, especially if you get right spells and do all the damage, is Sentient Pest and Augur are probably the best. The other ones you can do it. I'm not saying you can't do it, because each character is I guess we have now the enhanced versions. But I'm telling you right now is like things like Trisophilus. The other ones you can do, it's just hard. So I'm going to stop the video here, guys. I will be showing you probably tomorrow when I have more time. Or, what was the other day? Friday. 2 expeditions with her and how she's supposed to be used. Alright, have a good night, guys.